Well, what's going on, everybody? Josh Callaway alongside James D. Jackson, Sooners Illustrated, and 24/7 Sports at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, the State Fair of Texas, and the 2025 Red River Rivalry, where for the third time in 4 years, Oklahoma did not score a touchdown and lost to Texas again. 23-6, the Longhorns beat Oklahoma. James, Brent Venables in Oklahoma, in his 4 years, they've had some rough losses. They have. And I would say there have definitely been worse losses than this one. I mean, 49-0 here a few years ago, even last year. You'd be hard pressed to name one that I would consider more disappointing. Just a putrid second half. They got beat 20-0 in the second half of this game. It was not close. Texas dominated them. Oklahoma didn't play particularly well in any area in the second half of this game. Where do you want to go first? This was horrific in the second half. A complete no-show in this game again. I'm at a loss a little bit.
I think you got it exactly right. To come out here in this game, you don't have the excuses that you had in the last losses, where Oklahoma didn't have the quarterback that they thought they were going to have, or their quarterback got injured before the game. You got John Mateer out there. He came out, and it was a great moment for Oklahoma to come back from his surgery and be out there. And it didn't pan over to game going well for them. They were terrible in every area. Their entire identity was gone throughout the second half. They throughout all season they've been great at stopping the run. They were not able to do that.
Couldn't tackle Travion Wisner at all.
Couldn't tackle. They missed a lot of tackles. Yeah. They got just one sack today, which is still uncharacteristic for this team.
They tied for the nation and leading the nation in sacks coming in.
It's crazy. And then offensively, you saw it. I mean, just turning the ball over way too much. The passes weren't there. The timing wasn't there. It was as if he wasn't practicing John Mateer throughout the week. Yeah. And it just didn't pan over. So I mean, it was just bad overall. The run game still was not there, which is what really hurt them overall. Texas sat with two safeties in the back, and I think that changed a lot of what Oklahoma was trying to do, because they were getting pressure with just four guys. Whenever Oklahoma tried to run, they would just get those four guys up there, and they would stop it. And so when they go to the pass, the safety just dropped back, and the lanes weren't there. And then when your timing is off, it just wasn't there for Oklahoma's offense. I mean, overall, it wasn't great. I mean, even on special teams, they gave up a touchdown. Yeah. They've been good on special teams we gave it to them last week. It was talking about how great it's been. It just wasn't there today. I mean, Grayson Miller had a punt that didn't go into the red zone and stayed at the 20-yard line. It's like, might as well just kick it in the end zone at that point. It wasn't a good day for Oklahoma. But on the other side, after talking to the players, it sounds like that they all believe this was something that they didn't do right. It wasn't like Texas was better than them. They didn't execute the way they were supposed to. And I think that's what's giving them hope going into the rest of this tough schedule.
Such a deflating and just, I said disappointing earlier, so I don't want to say the same word, but again, disappointing. You just think of the range of emotions today. You know, Oklahoma's 5-0. They're playing well. The defense is awesome. There's all this talk about John Mateer week and the possibility, could he play? It sounded good like he was going to. He gets here. He's not on the availability report. He's warming up. He looks great. He's slinging balls 50 yards in warm-ups. We're all saying he looks like John Mateer to me. I mean, I'm no expert. I'm not a coach. I'm not a doctor, but he looks good to me. Mm-hmm. And the game starts, and, you know, they were kind of in control of it. I mean, at half they led this thing 6-3. John Mateer didn't play well. Okay, John Mateer didn't play well. Now, was it the thumb? Was it the fact that he was in and out? He didn't make any excuses. Give him credit for that. You know, post-game John Mateer, he shut that down immediately, said, nope, thumb felt fine. You know, nope, I was prepared, blah, blah, blah. You know, like, he didn't take any excuse other than just I didn't play well. Now, I'm not going to make excuses for him. You're out there. You're playing. You have to play well, right? And he didn't. He played bad. He turned it over 3 times today. The sequence at the end of the first half where Oklahoma, they pushed their luck a little bit. They said, we're going to take a shot to the end zone with 10 seconds left and see if we can't get a touchdown here. And if we don't get it, we'll kick the field goal. Now, obviously, that sounds good in theory, but the possibility is you turn it over, which is what happened. John Mateer threw up a ball that he can't throw, and he threw an interception, took all the momentum back to Texas going into halftime. And then, like I said, the second half of this game, Oklahoma could not do a thing offensively. The first half, they moved the ball. They just didn't finish drives. The second half, they didn't do anything. John Mateer's getting sacked constantly. Derek Simmons goes out. They put Luke Baklenko in. Offensive line was terrible. The run game is a disaster, a complete and utter disaster. Torrey Blaylock had 33 yards on 11 carries, I think, and he was by far the leading rusher. It was horrible. Jay Knott got 1 carry again, so there you go with that whole storyline again. It was awful offensively, James. I mean, a huge punch in the face offensively, because not that we thought this offense was elite. I don't think anyone was saying that, but we thought it's moving in the right direction. John Mateer might win a Heisman. Like, it was looking good, and it looked like last year today. It was gross. It was gross football.
And you talk about that second half. That third quarter was where Texas took all of the momentum because they got the ball first, and so they came all the way down the field, and Oklahoma just could not get off the field.
It's like a 7+ minute drive.
They've been one of the best in the nation on third down and stoppage, and they just couldn't do it today. And that's what they had all talked about in the post game. It was like we couldn't get off the field. It just wasn't us. It wasn't like our characteristics. And then Oklahoma offensively runs just 4 plays through the third quarter, just 4, because they had a 3 and out, and they had 1 play at the end of the quarter. Like, you're not going to win a lot of games like that. To add on to that, they had the turnovers, the 3 interceptions, and you give up a punt return touchdown. I mean, there's no way you're going to win games like that, especially in a league that's this good against a team like that. It's just hard to do. I mean, just Oklahoma beat themselves a lot, and I think the players have been saying that since then.
This offense has got major questions moving forward. Major questions. I think, again, not that we thought it was an elite, but I think we all thought it was further along than this. This was a big step backward. Nothing to hang your hat on today at all. I mean, they didn't run it. They couldn't really throw it. Mateer kept turning it over. Offensive line looked bad. They're beat up on the offensive line. It's a lot to kind of worry about offensively right now. Mm-hmm. Defensively, good first half. Second half, they just kind of wilted away. They couldn't, like you said, they couldn't get off the field. Texas just took it to them in the second half. I mean, the first drive, they go 7+ minutes, score a touchdown to take the lead. You know, they have another long drive later. Oklahoma was, when the quarter ended, they were in the middle of their second drive of the half. It was like, it's the fourth quarter already. Like, holy smokes, and they're down. I mean, they missed open field tackles that we just haven't seen them miss all year. I mean, defensively, I'm not going to say it was bad. It was pretty good, really, in the first half. But the second half, they let Arch Manning kind of scramble on him a little bit. It was gross too. The second half defensively was not very good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you saw some good things. David Stone, Jaden Jackson, they played well in the interior in that first half. You saw Peyton Bowen break up a pass in the end zone that could have stopped a touchdown right there. So there was some good things that happened for Oklahoma. They just got worn down, it seemed like. They couldn't get off the field because they were so worn down. And Arch Manning, give him credit. When he rolls out of the pocket, he's very dangerous. Like, he was making the throws once they got outside the pocket and got away from Oklahoma's pressure. And you saw a lot of what they were doing in the beginning of the game where I thought, okay, Oklahoma's just going to dominate because Texas had to go to a lot of screen passes, which usually means we don't trust our offensive line against your defensive line based on how it was going. And in the second half, they went right back to regular football and just ran it down Oklahoma's throat. Arch Manning would roll out in certain situations and found guys over the middle of the field, and they got comfortable, and Oklahoma just couldn't stop it. So it was a little weird there. I mean, just defensively, it just wasn't what they should have been and what we all thought going into the game.
Oklahoma did so many things that get you beat in this game. They lost the turnover battle by a lot. Again, they don't force a turnover today. Outside of Kent State, they have not forced a turnover. This defense is still awesome. The defensive line is still awesome. Turnovers, man. I need some turnovers, especially in a game like this. How huge would a big turnover have been at some point to maybe just flip this thing? Couldn't get it, obviously. Special teams, they lose. They give up the punt return touchdown, which was really the dagger at that point in the game. Yeah, and then they got outrushed by a lot. I mean, just kind of all those things you kind of check every year in Red River. Turnover battle, who runs the ball better. Special teams always is an X factor in this game. And Texas was just boom, 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 boom. You go down the list. They were better in every area, and now this is 3 out of 4 years that Oklahoma has not just lost this game but been embarrassed in it. They don't score a touchdown again. Just stinks, man. I don't even know what else to say. It just stinks. I hate this. I don't like doing that. I don't like being on this field doing this, talking about the game, and being like, Oklahoma got embarrassed again, and here we are again doing the same thing.
And what I thought was a bad sign is Oklahoma went to these trick plays in the first half that, like, at the ending of it, where Javonte Gibson threw a pass to Deion Burks. And then Jaden Jackson and David Stone come in the lead block for Xavier Robinson. Yeah. And, like, you have those plays where you execute those plays and you still don't score. Like, when you have, like, a momentum shift like that in a game like that where you got guys doing something they're not supposed to be doing and it works, you're supposed to counter and capitalize on that. Mm-hmm. Oklahoma didn't do it. So, like, I think it was a bad omen for the team overall after that. It's like you had those trick plays drawn up, you used them, and it didn't work. And it's like I think you got to the end of your playbook at that point in time and just couldn't figure out anything after that.
Yeah, John Mateer, man, what a crazy week. I mean, all the saga of would would he not play? And he came out and he played, and he just didn't play well. I mean, we were so interested in if he would play. We never really stopped to think, like, what if he plays and he's not any good? Ben Arbuckle was asked post-game, did you ever think about going back to Hawkins for any reason? Said no. I don't know what that would have done for you. Maybe it does something. I don't know. I mean, who knows? But at the end of the day, this was still a one-score game in the fourth quarter. They still had a shot. They were actually driving down 13-6. Mateer got that big run, and it was like, here they go. They're going to have a shot here. And they got a big holding call, called it back. That was another thing today that we didn't even talk about. Penalties were brutal. Some brutal holding calls. I don't know. It was bad. There was really, again, I don't want to be too hyperbolic, but very little positives to take from this game. Very little. It was bad. It was bad. So we'll do what we always do. We spin it forward. The season is not over. They're 5-1. It's more the way they lost and the fact that they lost. I mean, obviously, anytime you lose to Texas, especially when I think Oklahoma fans, I'm not going to not include us in that, fancy them as the better team. Yeah. That this would be painful no matter how it transpired, but the fact that they got smacked around makes it uglier.
Can we say two positive things? The fact that Keontae Lewis is out there playing.
Dude, how on earth was he playing? It's crazy.
That guy's a different human because
That's crazy.
He got knocked out against Temple and came back the next week and then ran to the wall against Kent State.
And when that happens, you're thinking, man, I hope he can come back this year at all. Exactly. And 1 week later, and he's back.
He's back, and I mean, he made some catches. And Tate Sandell, the kicker for Oklahoma. I mean, he knocked some through, and he's made 11 straight now on the season. Oklahoma has a kicker, and that's what kind of gave them some hope in the first half because they were able to get the field goal kicks in there to get the lead, but just couldn't come back from. I mean, overall, everything else that they did. But two positives for the game for the fans.
Spinning it forward, the season is not over. Again, you're allowed to lose, right? No, Oklahoma's never going to go undefeated. Okay, that wasn't going to happen. This was one of the games you didn't know before the season. Before the season, when we looked at it, we were talking, how can Oklahoma get to 9-3? Yeah. We said, win your first 5. They did that. And then can you go get, some combination of Texas, one road game, and then, try to win, LSU or Ole Miss. Like, that. At no point were they expected to win all 7 of these last 7. But, again, it's the way it looked is what makes it extra gross because they played poorly today. And, going forward, they go to South Carolina next week, who, is solid. They're not haven't been as good as they thought, but they're not a pushover by any means. And you got to go to their place. First true road game of the year. Where are you at with this team right now? Are you still thinking like this is still maybe a playoff team, or are you kind of taking a step back like, no, like this team's got problems and playoffs is a little too ambitious right now? How are you feeling midway point right now? Because again, 5-1, it's not like it's over. It's very far from over. But if they play like the way they did today, they're going to lose a few more at least.
I think if Oklahoma plays like they did today, it's going to be an issue.
It's going to be ugly.
All the players were saying is they didn't execute well. I mean that's what it was. But if Texas has Texas shown, I guess, the country how to stop John Mateer and Oklahoma's offense, that's where it gets a little iffy on it, what they can do the rest of the way, because a lot of Oklahoma's games is going to reside on John Mateer being great. If he's not great, I don't know what they can do overall. It relies on him. So if they can slow him down, that's where you get some pause. Now, this is a tough league. We've been saying it. It's more like NFL style.
There's a lot of tough games coming.
You can lose a game here and there and be fine, but it's just. I hope they figure out some things just next week. I hope they figure some things out and counter what Texas put on the field this week. I think the too high safety got them a lot, but we'll see what they can draw up from that overall.
Every week is going to be huge. You can swing a lot of momentum right back if you go play well next week and win. Exactly. You can legitimately, but again, if they play the way they did today, they will lose again. That's the question.
The prime example is Texas.
Yeah, I mean, they felt like their season was over. Now all of a sudden, look, they have life again.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it can happen for Oklahoma. There's the good part about it being a tough schedule is there are a lot of opportunities to do that. Like you're going to play tough games. And you're going to have a chance to impress the voters and the guys like that going forward. So if you can go out there and execute the way you're supposed to, you can get back in those games.
If you want another positive, it just got far more likely today that John Mateer and Ben Arbuckle might be back next year. That's something that's worked in your favor. I know a lot of you fans will probably say like, oh, look at the way they played today, but there's still a lot there. It's year 1 of this. It's just, again, I go back to the big theme, my takeaway, my motif of this entire instant reaction, disappointing. It's just so bitterly disappointing because we just thought they were better than this. We thought they were past being smacked around by Texas in this game, and clearly they're not because it just happened. So I don't know. We'll see where they go from here. It's going to be an interesting week around Norman, Oklahoma. Huge road game next week, going to South Carolina. First true road game of the year. Not a great time for that. Or maybe it's great time for it. I don't know. Who knows? So we'll see. But it'll be an interesting week, to say the least. We'll be back on Monday, Tom Green and us too, to break it all down, pull it all apart, and we'll certainly spin it forward as far as where do we think Oklahoma can go from here, and are the problems fixable moving forward? We'll get into all that on the podcast on Monday. Full post-game reaction is on YouTube right now from Brent Venables, John Mateer, Kobe McKenzie, Ben Arbuckle, and then some more players as well. And full coverage over the website, of course, Sooners Illustrated, Oklahoma.247sports.com. Full reaction and a lot more to come, obviously, throughout the weekend and into the early part of next week as we turn the page to South Carolina next week. I think that's it. Anything else you wanted to add? I love this game still. It's still the greatest. It's awesome. You know, this environment is one of one. It was so hot in here in the first half. But it's still the greatest game in the world. But, yeah, the fourth quarter was not real fun today. Yeah. It was kind of ugly. But
wasn't there.
Anything else?
Yep. Well, you hope Xavier Robinson's all right. I don't know. He feel like he took a shot to the shoulder, running back there. So hopefully he's all right. Cause
they need Derek Simmons too. I mean, that's big.
Yeah, they need Derek Simmons. I think that was a lot of what the Oklahoma's offensive line struggled without him. I mean, it's just like one guy goes down this offensive line. It makes a big
super deep right now. Yeah. So you lose a starter. It's like ugh.
And Logan Howland,
Logan Howland was that. He would have came in.
Yeah, you overlook it because of what they had coming in with Keontae Lewis and John Mateer being available. You overlooked that Logan Howland wasn't out there. It wasn't available.
And that sucks, too, because he got hurt in the garbage time of the Kent State game. He's out today, and he's not a starter. But like you said, Derek Simmons goes out. That would have been Logan Howland. But they didn't have him, so they had to go back Lenko. And, everyone knows that from there. We got fireworks going off over here. It's that time of the night at the State Fair of Texas. That's it. We'll wrap it up. Best part of the day was probably my corny dog this morning. It's just crazy. Oklahoma was in control at halftime. Like at halftime, you thought Oklahoma was going to win. Did you not?
I thought they were in control.
They felt they were in good shape. They did, and they just that second half was a beating. It was a beating. It's crazy. Anyway, all right, let's wrap it up. We'll be back on Monday to talk about this game some more, and again, we'll look ahead to what Oklahoma can accomplish in the second half of the season. Still a lot of football to be played. That's it for now. For James D. Jackson, I'm Josh Callaway, signing off from the Cotton Bowl in the 2025 Red River Rivalry. We'll see you next Saturday from Columbia as Oklahoma goes on the road to face South Carolina, the first road game of the 2025 season. First road game in SEC play. I forgot about Temple. Don't disrespect Temple.
I tried to say
my bad. First real road game. I'm going to say it. First real road game of the year next week at South Carolina. We'll see you then. For James D. Jackson, I'm Josh Callaway.